what is expected on the first day of school, advice on staying out of drama, how do you balance school and social life, is it good to start playing sports, how can I prevent procrastination. What's up guys, it's Tiaryca and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Tiaryca and I'm 19 years old. I am not in high school right now, so don't do me. I'm not in high school anymore. I'm currently a sophomore freshman, so yeah. In today's video, I'm going to be giving y'all high school advice. I asked y'all to ask me some questions about high school and things that you might be scared of, or just any questions that you might have. So in today's video, I'm going to be answering those questions. Alright, so the first question is what is expected on the first day of school. So on the first day of school, it might be a little bit chaotic, you know, because you might not know where to go. You might not know where all of your classes are, which is why they will give you like a schedule on either the first day of school or when you go on orientation, but usually I think they give those out to you. So yeah, you'll have a schedule, like a little schedule of like where your classes are going to be and where the room numbers are, but obviously you still might get lost. I know I did. I got lost like for a good like week. But yeah, if you do get lost, don't be scared. There are going to be people like around you that can help you like navigate your way to where you need to go. And then also if you can't like find a teacher around, there also are going to be obviously like people who are in higher grades than you, so you know, you can ask them if you're not too shy. In terms of what goes on in the classroom on the first day of school, it really depends on the teacher. But some teachers, they like to do icebreakers and kind of like get to know you questions and things like that. And then there's other teachers that are just like, y'all, we can't waste any time. We need to like get to it. We need to do this work. We got a lot of things to go through this year. And I've definitely been through like teachers like that. So if you know you get a teacher like that, don't be scared. And really, if you get a teacher like that, maybe that might be the like class that you really like gotta be on top of your stuff with. Also with school supplies, I would say like if you didn't go school supply shopping like in time for school, it's not like the biggest deal, but I definitely would have just like a little bit of supplies, maybe like a couple pieces of paper, because like I said, there are like those teachers that want to like get started on the first day. Like they don't want to know nothing about you, they don't want to know nothing. So I would definitely have like a couple things if you haven't gone back to school shopping. But if you don't have like anything, it's not a big deal, because I'm sure there will be people in your classroom that have paper or like a pencil for you. So the next question is, how do you balance school and social life? So this is something that I won't say it was hard for me, because I definitely I did not have that much of a social life when I was in high school, and it's kind of sad to say. Like I definitely got more of a social life like when I was in college, and I will tell you, like, you know, high school and college, two different things. So I definitely can answer this question. So I say if we're kind of like talking about just like the two topics of school and social life, I think that school should always come first. And what I mean by that is kind of once you get into the swing of things for school and you know your teachers start giving you out work and stuff, I think that as soon as you get home, that should be, or like as soon as you get home and like you wind down, that is kind of when you should start like kind of getting on top of your homework, because some teachers might give you a few days to do your homework and some teachers might want it done like that day. So I think that schoolwork should like come first, like, you know, a little, maybe like 10 minutes or 20 minutes after you get home, you kind of can get started on your schoolwork. And then usually for schoolwork, I always start with like the hardest assignment. And then I kind of work my way down to the easiest, because I'll usually have the most energy, you know, at the beginning of like doing homework, and then like as I keep doing homework, I don't have that much energy left, so that's why I will end with the easiest assignment. So that's one thing I would say. And also like once I kind of finish the homework and assignments I need to get done for that day, then I can kind of like, I would hang out with my friends or like go to a game or something. But also like if you do go to a game, or you have like a game, let's say like 6 or 7, I would kind of plan out how much time you have to kind of get like, you know, some assignments done, and then I would plan that accordingly and just be like, okay, I have, let's just say like 2 hours to get a so-and-so assignment done, so I'll give like an hour or an hour and a half to get that assignment done, and then I'll go to the game or go wherever, hang out with my friends, and then once I come back I'll wind down from that, and then I'll continue to work on another like homework assignment. If you're in sports, usually with sports those are kind of like after school, so if that's the case, I mean obviously you just have to like stay after school, like to like, you know, condition or just practice. I didn't do sports in high school, but yeah, you'd have to stay after school, and maybe after you get home from school or home from practice you can like wind down, like I said, take a shower, do what you gotta do, and then, you know, get started on your schoolwork. So the next question is, how do I maintain good grades? So I will say, like, you probably heard this a million times, but I think freshman year is like one of the most important years to get good grades for, and that said a lot, but I feel like it's very true. But I also think it's like possibly like one of the hardest years to like kind of achieve good grades, because I feel like, you know, as you're like kind of progressing in like your high school years, it just gets easier, and you kind of like, you're into the swing of things and you just know how high school rolls, so it just gets easier. But yeah, I definitely think freshman year is the hardest like year to get good grades in. So personally what I would do is I would definitely get a planner if you do not have a planner already. I never really planned. I kind of kept like my things like up here, like things I need to do, I kept them up here, which is not good all the time, especially if you are taking a lot of classes or your teachers are giving out a lot of work. I would not rely on your brain and your memory to kind of keep up with assignments, because that's when, like, you know, you just don't remember to do certain things, and then you might get a 0 on like a homework assignment. So I definitely would get a planner, or I would get like a notebook, or if you don't want either one of those, I would definitely get some sticky notes and write down like the homework assignments and like the day that they're due on like the sticky note, and then I would stick it on something that you know that you're going to like look at like later that day. I also believe that sitting at the front of the classroom is very, very beneficial for getting good grades. Like, I think my freshman year I didn't really do that, but like as I like kind of got like closer to like my senior year, and I was kind of like a junior, senior, maybe even like a sophomore, I started sitting at the front of the classroom, and like you will see like an increase in your grades, like in a good way, once you like sit in the front of the classroom. Like, you might not want to, but like I would definitely try and sit in at least like the first like 2 rows of the classroom, because I just think it's a lot easier to just pay attention. I think another rule of thumb is to not sit with your friends, like, or sit close with your friends in the classroom. And I know some people, y'all might come for me, but just trust me on this. Just hear me out. So I believe that when you sit with your friends like in a classroom, that's where a lot of like horseplay and just joking can like go around. And once that happens, once you're joking or horseplaying or whatever, that's kind of when you stop paying attention to what the teacher is like talking about, and then that's where like confusion comes in. So I just believe kind of like, you don't have to be like 20 feet away from your friends, but I would like stay a little bit of a distance away from your friends so that you can focus and pay attention to what the teacher is talking about. Also, as soon as you're like confused with whatever like your teacher's like talking about, especially math, make sure you raise your hand and ask them for help on like whatever lesson they're on. I was one of those girls that like, especially like in my freshman year of high school, I didn't raise my hand for a lot of things, and you know, lessons usually like build on top of each other. So, you know, the first day that I was confused on something, I wouldn't raise my hand, and then the next day, you know, you're gonna kind of go over of that thing that you talked about the previous day, and guess what, I was confused even more. So just raise your hand when you're confused and the teacher will help. And also, like, if you know, the teacher's gonna have to eventually move on, so if you're still confused, I would definitely get a tutor. And if you don't have tutors at your school, you can more than likely just ask your teacher for help on like whatever you're confused about during lunch. Ask them if they can help you during lunch, or ask them if they can help you like after school, and I'm sure that they will say yes. Next question is it good to start playing sports? So I think that it's good to start playing sports if you can handle it, if you can handle like your academics plus like, you know, a sport. I didn't play sports in high school because I'm just not an athletic person. Like, don't ask me to like run across the track. Like, it's just, I'm be huffing and puffing. I'm not an athletic person, so I never did it. But if you are, and that's something that you want to do, and that's something that you want to do like in your future like career, then I would definitely do it. But also make sure that you keep up with the grades and like things like that while you're at it. Next question is, should I have a group of friends, a few friends, or should I just stick to myself? So I think that this is personal preference, honestly. In high school, I did not have that many friends. It's really just like your personal preference, but I will say, if you do end up having a group of friends, choose those friends wisely, please. When you're choosing friends, you need to like pay attention to like their actions, you know, what they say. Do they gossip about people? Do they gossip about people in your friend group? Just like little things like that you need to pay attention to, because guess what, if they're gossiping about other people in your friend group, they're probably gossiping about you. And also, like, if they're just really like ghetto and just I don't know, like they get in a lot of fights, things like that, then you know that can kind of eventually, like, their actions and like what they do like in their life can eventually kind of carry on to you, and then you might actually start acting like them, because it's all like an energy type of thing. So it's really just personal preference. But I don't know, I did not have that many friends, and I'm very grateful for that. I had like a best friend, and I'm no longer friends with her. So I mean, I think personally in high school, the friends that you start out with in your freshman year, they more than likely might not be the friends that you end with your senior year or like after you graduate. The next question is high school actually that bad? I personally do not think high school is that bad. What you see in movies is not really like as glamorous as it is, or like as scary as it is. Like, I don't know, like there's definitely like those cliques of like people, but I don't think movies like characterize it the right way, if that makes sense. The next question is, should you mess with somebody that goes to the same high school as you? So personally, I would. I don't know, I don't have trust issues, but I don't quite trust somebody kind of like going to a different school as me, because I think it's kind of easier for them to like cheat. I will say, like, I did not have a boyfriend at all while I was in high school. I do now, and I'm still with that person. I've been with that person for over a year. But yeah, I don't know, I personally wouldn't. It really depends on your preference, but I don't know, I feel like this kind of sounds bad. It sounds a little bad, but I feel like if they go to a different school as you can't really keep tabs on them like that. I don't know, so to each their own. Alright, the next question is advice on staying out of drama. So I personally think, first of all, make sure that you choose your friends wisely. Like I said earlier, I feel like if your friends are getting into a lot of drama, that will kind of make you get into a lot of drama as well. I was not in drama at all while I was in high school, but I will say I was in a lot of drama while I was in middle school, and that was like solely because of the friends that I surrounded myself with. So make sure you surround yourself by like good people and, you know, positive people. And I also think just don't care that much about the drama that goes around you, or like what's really just going around you, like in general. Just don't care about any of that stuff. Stay out of it. If you see a fight, you might be a little nosy. Like I know I was nosy when I like saw a fight in my first 2 years of high school. But I just know, like, as I kind of like became like a junior and a senior, I did not care. And when people like started talking about fights, I was like, oh my gosh, I do not care. But yeah, just don't care about all the drama that's going around you. Don't be nosy. Just stay out of it. The next question is, how should I study? So this kind of depends on like if you're like a visual person, or if you're like what's the other one, visual, or like I don't know, I forgot what the other one is, because I'm not that one. I'm a visual learner. But yeah, it just depends on like what type of learner you are. So you know, there's a lot of like tactics that you can use, and a lot of like apps you can use, like Quizlet is a good one, obviously. Just like writing things down on like index cards, that's like a good thing. I know like in high school, it depended on what the class was, but I would use like a lot of I'd use Quizlet a lot, like especially if it was like history, English, if I had to like learn like definitions of words, and like science as well. But I think like call and response, like I think that's what it's called, but call and response is a really good tactic. It really just depends. You can look up on Google like different types of like tactics that you can use to like memorize things. It really depends on like personal preference and like kind of what's easy for you. I definitely would make sure that you're in an environment where it is easier for you to like concentrate and study. I know for me, I have to have just like a little bit of like music on, but it can't be music that has like a lot of bass in it. But I just have to have like a little bit of music, you know, that kind of helps me to concentrate a little bit. But you know, that really just depends on like personal preference. So yeah. Next question is, how can I prevent procrastination? So I still do that, and that's definitely like a hard thing to not do, but you really just have to like push yourself to get things done. And that's the thing, like I've tried to like set time limits and stuff, but there's like just a point in time that you kind of have to figure out what works for you. And if just telling yourself to get your butt up and get whatever you need to get done so that you can kind of move on with your life and like go on to more fun things, if that's what you gotta do, because that's what I gotta do, then do it. But you just gotta figure out what works for you. I just tell myself, get up, get this done, so that I don't have to work on this like all day, and I don't have to stay up all night and, you know, work on that work. And I also think that like if you have like multiple days to like get assignments done, I would definitely kind of work on those assignments little by little each day, so that eventually it'll be done by the due date. And I also think that if you have a lot of homework to get done, I would also kind of utilize like having like time to yourself, and also like, you know, maybe like hanging out as friends like when you need to take a break from like that homework you're doing. I don't think, if you have a lot of homework, I do not think it's smart to try to get it all done in like a 3-hour session without taking a break. I definitely think it's kind of like better to take a break between like each hour or each like 45 minutes and kind of maybe, you know, go on a walk or like hang out with your friends or things like that. All right, next question is, what are types of people that I should avoid? So I think people that you should avoid are people who start a lot of drama, people who try and get you in a lot of trouble, people who talk about you behind your back, people who are just fake. Honestly, I don't do fake. I do not do fake people at all. People who can't like understand like, you know, like your life like situations or like just things like that. I don't know, there's just, look out for red flags. Like if someone has a red flag and they continue to like keep doing that red flag, cut them off and leave. That goes for anybody, goes for relationships, goes for friends, shoot, goes for family members. Alright, next question is, how should I deal with mean girls? So honestly, like the one thing I can say is like if there's just people who are like bullying you and they're bullying you for like no reason, stand up for yourself. Even if you might be like scared to stand up for yourself, just stand up for yourself, because a lot of times those girls or those people are just like all talk no bite. Like they'll just talk their crap and they won't like, you know, throw hands to like back up, you know, what they're saying about you. So that's the one thing I can say, and that's the only thing I have to say about that. Alright, so the next question is, what year/semester is the hardest? So this is going to be different for everybody, and I need to like think back a couple years to when I was in high school. Give me 1 second. Okay, in terms of semesters, I can say that second semester is probably the hardest out of like the 2 semesters. In terms of like year, I can't really say, because each of them had like their own like kind of thing going on. I almost want to say my senior year, which is very weird because in my senior year I was not taking that many classes, but I am a musician and I do play an instrument, and I had a lot of like competitions and stuff, and I think I was taking classes honestly too that I didn't even need to take. That is also a rule of thumb, and I will get to that in a minute. I have to get to that. But yeah, I was taking like some classes I didn't need, and it was just really hard. And there's classes I was taking that I didn't even like and I didn't enjoy, so those type of classes I didn't care about and I didn't need were kind of hard to balance with like all the competitions that I was going to do, like, or that I was doing for music. So yeah. All right, so I'm going to kind of go back to what I was saying about the previous question. So this is just a tip, like, altogether. Do not, I repeat, do not take a class that you do not need to graduate. Don't do it. If you are gonna do it like your senior year. But if you don't like math and your guidance counselor is like, oh my gosh, just take this class, like you need some credits, don't do it. Like, don't do it. I did that, and like I passed the class, like, and actually enjoyed the math class because I do like math, but don't do it. I took an art class. I hate art. My teacher like convinced me to take it, hated it, was miserable. So just do not take a class that you do not need to graduate. Definitely get the classes out like first that you need to like graduate, and then if you want to take some other like extracurricular things, take them like, you know, when you're done with the most important things in your high school life. All right guys, so that is all the questions and answers that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please give this video a big thumbs up, and if you would like to watch more of me, more of my life, if you would like to see like different things I do in a day, things that I do for nighttime, things I do in the morning, if you want to see just my college life, then please click that subscribe button down below. If you would also like to see me on other platforms other than YouTube, then please follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and also TikTok, and those will be all like linked and named right here. Anyways guys, bye.